Congratulations, both of you. Um, very proud of the contract for Greater Orlando Aviation Association. It's not only congratulations to you guys, but the whole city of Orlando, because you guys are an excellent venue. You guys have done such a good work. So Mr. Brown, Mr. Machena, and Mr. Frank Rubin. Thank you so very much. We're very proud of you. Very proud of what you're doing over there in yourself. I'd like to congratulate also all the neighborhood associations who participated in the National Night Out last week. Last Wednesday, we graduated the third District 2 Government Academy. I'd like to congratulate all of the participating members and congratulate them for wanting to learn more about government. And last but not least, we have actors and actresses from the Spanish community doing great things. We had this past week on the 7th of August a play called, I'm going to translate, so let's see how this sounds. Jukebox Nights. It was a lot of fun. It's actually Noches de Bellonera, for those that understand Spanish. It was at the Wyndham Hotel in International Drive. It was a great cast, and we had a lot of fun. A big laugh. I hope to see those group mayor getting involved at our Dr. Phillips Performing Arts and other venues as we explore other alternatives in the city of Orlando. There's many companies out there from the Latin American community that are wanting to express their arts and culture in our city. And they're doing a superb job, and I'm looking forward to, Mayor, to invite you and the rest of the commissioners and the members of our community to see some of this play. I did ask them to translate them, so it's going to be fun. With that being said, thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for letting me share a little bit about the Lone Sailor Memorial. It's going to be a great park and a great addition up there. I appreciate y'all's hard work. Let me share a couple of quick things. I was honored to play in the world's largest golf outing at Dubstred this past Monday. It's a brainchild of Billy Casper, who's since now deceased, but his event raises money for the Wounded Warrior Project throughout the country. At Dubstred alone, we raised $20,650 for this great cause, and nationwide in 175 golf courses throughout the country. They raised more than $850,000. So it's a great opportunity for us to be, we're part of it here because of our relationship with Billy Casper at Dubstred. A couple of quick updates. I can't believe that another school year is about to begin, but with that comes in mind of one of the favorite sporting events. And while I'm excited about the women's national soccer coming to Orlando, I'm also very excited about the Battle of College Park. It's taking place this year at Bishop Moore. It's going to be Friday, August 28th. The mayor and I will be there. Last time, Mayor, we won the first half and they won the second half. Unfortunately, they scored more points than we did the second half. But we're going to get that trophy back and take it back over to Edgewater High School. So it's going to be a great time to come and be part of that. Also, for those interested in our public schools, just want everybody to know that OCPS is hosting a 60% plans for the new upcoming Audubon Park K-8 on Wednesday, August 26th at 6 p.m. at the current Audubon Park Elementary Cafeteria in Baldwin Park. So if you get a chance, you want to see the plans, please come over and get a chance to have some input into those plans. On the agenda today, item C5, we're glad to partner with another small business in our company, Payer Law Group. Chris, will you please take a moment and stand? Let's welcome you. So thank you very much for being here. Chris is the business owner of and a recipient today of the Small Business Facade Grant over at 711 West Colonial Drive, near the corner of Colonial Drive and Paramore, an area that we're really trying to work on. And Chris, appreciate what you have done over there. So thank you for your hard work. On item D9 and G1, we're grateful to the Orange County Division of Cultural Affairs for awarding 2 facilities grants to the City of Orlando, one in the amount of $124,000 for the Lock Haven Cultural Park, the mayor mentioned that, and one in the amount of $70,000 and $746 for Lou Gardens. I want to thank Commissioner Sheehan. Commissioner, thank you very much for your gift. She and I joined together as part of the matching grant there to be able to get the award of those dollars, and it would not have happened without you, Commissioner. Thank you very much. If you haven't had a chance to go over there, you'll get a chance to see some of the work that they're doing. I also want to thank OUC and thank our Orlando Walks program for the dollars that they've put in outside of the $124,000. I also want to thank our staff, Jason Burton, Pauline Eaton, Beth Gruber, John Perrone, and Lisa Early, as well as representatives from all of the cultural park facilities. Thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you. Lisa, please pass that along from me, please. And finally, under 18A permits, Mayor, we had a chance to last year go to the first Maker Fair at Lock Haven Park. It's coming back again, September 12th and 13th. If you haven't been to this event, it's a chance for you to go out and really meet some people who are doing incredible and creative things with stuff around our community and around the world, from science to art, robots to rockets, and nothing is off limits. It's a chance to see creativity happen right here. It's makerfairorlando.com at the Orlando Science Center in September, and we're approving that permit today. And that's all that I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. District 4.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sheehan.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'd just like to make a brief statement about the Boone Braves Rolling Kids. I mean, they are just so inspirational because a lot of people might not know the backstory. They had partnered with a group to help them buy their boats and run their boathouse and everything like that. And that group basically pulled up and they had no boats, they had nothing to compete with, and they had to start completely from scratch. And Commissioner Inks, thank you so much for helping with the boathouse. And we see how far these kids have come from having nothing to actually coming back with state championships. This is what happens when you support kids. So Commissioner Inks, again, it's at Turkey Lake Park where they practice. I appreciate you so much. But you know, the Boone Brave kids, they've just done great work to bring back this. And you know, that's just one of those feel-good moments. You say, you know what, we invested in these kids and it really paid back. So thanks again. And Mayor, thank you for all your support on that as well. It's great to see these kids thriving after a really bad thing happened to them. They really turned it around. There's been a lot of talk on social media, and I don't know if anybody here today on item C6, the Municipal Planning Board minutes, but a lot of times I see things out in social media and we're asked to comment on them. I can't do that as a commissioner. I can't get out on social media and comment on things that are coming before council. It's actually a violation of public records law. And it's very difficult, though, to counter misinformation that's being put out on social media when I can't comment it because I would be violating the public records law. So even though I'm a very transparent person, try to comment on things when I can, I kind of run into a little bit of difficulty. I'm going to read a statement for a reason because there's legal implications involved. So on today's agenda, I want to clarify something for my constituents relating to a couple of proposed new developments near Lake Eola. Item number C6 on the agenda is accepting the meeting minutes and approving the recommended actions from the Municipal Planning Board's July 21st meeting, with the exception of the recommendations for the Madera Central project. That's the proposed residential tower at the current location of the University Club on Central and Roslyn, and the City Center project, Caddy Corner, across Central and Roslyn and adjacent to Lake Eola Park. To be clear, these projects were considered by the MPB on July 21st, but are not being considered by the City Council today because both projects have been appealed to a quasi-judicial hearing officer. City Council will consider these projects after the hearing officer has heard the cases and sends an additional recommendation to us. This process can take several months. While this process is ongoing, our constituents should feel free to share their opinions with me and with all of us on the City Council, but we have a legal obligation to reserve formulating an opinion on the applications until the quasi-judicial process has run its course and the record of decision is submitted to council at a public hearing. Because of that, we can't even respond to any of these other than to acknowledge that we have received them. This ensures that all parties, both those for and against the proposals, have a fair and open opportunity for a public hearing. So if anybody's here to talk about that today, it's not that we're trying to hide anything. This is the public process. I'm glad that it's been, a very rigorous public process and people are very excited about it. But again, we're not going to be hearing that item today, and that's why. And that's why I haven't responded on social media. That's why I've said I can't comment on this. And one of them is actually in Commissioner Hill's district, but one of the appealed processes is in my district. But just want to be completely transparent and clear about the process moving forward. And that's all I had, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Move to District 5, Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Mayor. Quite a few things, as always, going on in District 5. I'd like to thank, under your leadership, Mayor, and your staff, Housing with finally getting her done with that $695,000 grant over at the Richard Allen Gardens apartment there in Paramore. I'm really excited about that project getting ready to get underway, because I do believe that is going to be one of the anchors of what's to come now in that south side of Paramore. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you guys for your sticking in there and getting it done. I know there was a lot of work to put that together. Excited about the MPB recommendations approval and granting. Hopefully we'll approve that today over in District 5 at the Guardian Care Nursing Home Facility. It's one of the first and only African-American nursing homes here in the city of Orlando under the leadership of Ms. Eloise Abraham and the board president, Mr. Alzo Reddick. I often visit that facility and meet with the residents there, and it's a 5-star facility. They really take great care of those residents there, and hopefully that will be also a hub of medical attention that our senior residents are getting in that area. They've just purchased a medical center across the street that they're rehabbing, and with this expanding that skilled nursing facility is much needed there in that area. Also, just big kudos to the Broken Cauldron Brewery that hopefully is underway with this approval. That is going to be a major economic impact there in the Paramore area. They're on Church Street near the soccer stadium, especially for job creation. And I'm very excited that people are starting to come to Paramore and invest in our area. So hopefully we can do what we can to assist with economic development. I know me and yourself, Mayor, will be going on Wednesday at 2:30 there in the Paramore area to do a ribbon cutting for other shops that are now opening up there in that Paramore corridor, the shops of Paramore. And thank you also, Walter Hawkins, for your leadership with helping revitalize that area. On 7/29, I'd like to thank Office Depot. Myself and Lisa Early of Park and Recs went over, and Office Depot gave us 500 book bags for needy youth there in our area, and we were able to assist the children in the home apartments there in the Ivy Lane corridor, where we have over 600-700 kids that live there in that home apartments, Ivy Lane community. That day, under the leadership of Sergeant Deborah Thomas and Greg Turner, and thank you, Chief Mina, if you're listening, for your assistance with OPD. We had a Stop the Violence march, and over 600 youth and community leaders and churches came out and marched a quarter of a mile down Ivy Lane in unity. We had mothers that children had just been killed there in the county and city in the last couple of months, or weeks at that point. And I think it really started a lot of healing in the community. So thank everyone that supported that effort. And you also, Commissioner Eames, you were right there and made a major impact by standing there with the community residents. Thank you, sir, for your participation. Then we had, I think that was there in July 30th, we had something beautiful over at the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts. All the Parks and Recs departments were there when Tony met Oscar. And every, and the mayor and Commissioner Stewart and Commissioner Gray was there, and I know we all were proud to see our kids there in Park and Recs in their evening attire and how would you say it, actually becoming little actresses and actors and the raw talent that's in our Park and Recs department, and just to see, and forgive me for lack of better words, some of our most neediest kids or inner city kids they are standing on that performing arts stage, and their parents in the audience, many that might not be able to attend a Broadway show, but to actually see their children perform, it was soul stirring. And I know many, because of that stage, they have gotten that bug and possibly will be back 15 years from now as a Broadway singer or actor. So thank you, Parks and Recs and staff, for your great leadership. They put that together in like 6 weeks. On August the 1st, we had our last lacrosse game there at Emory Hamilton Sports. We do have a girls lacrosse team now in the Paramore area at Jackson and Callahan Center. And see those little girls out there with their lacrosse sticks and their goggles. It was, you know, I'm looking forward to this year because all the opportunity that lies ahead for them. Lacrosse is a sport that many minorities don't participate in, but there's a great scholarship, college scholarship opportunities, and to see them start to, and thank you to Little Miss Edmonds for her leadership and volunteerism in the community. On that very same day, we started our first, and partnered with an organization here in the Paramore community called Heart to Heart, and we started our first inner city soccer league. And it was over 100 kids that came out, and Orlando City Soccer is assisting us to where we're now grooming kids there, not just in Paramore, but Pine Hills and throughout the city. And the great part about this, the parents don't have to pay. They don't have to pay for registration. They don't have to pay for uniforms. They don't have to pay for equipment. The only thing they need to do is bring their kids. So I'm really excited about the future with soccer in the inner city and being exposed to that. We also, on August the 7th, had a ribbon cutting at the Salvation Army at William Booth Towers with our Seniors Resource Fair at Williams Booth Towers, and over 200 seniors participated. They're mostly the overlooked population, we know that, and it was at least 30 vendors that came with resources to assist our seniors there in the District 5 area to not be vulnerable, but to empower them and also to assist them with their independence. A big thank you and shout out to Orlando City Soccer and Orlando Magic. They came together as one this Saturday and helped me host a back-to-school celebration in HJ High and Kicking the Streets, who put out over 600, 700 flyers. We went door to door, informing the community. And by those efforts, we were able to give over 1,000 kids there in the Paramore area book packs filled with supplies. And over 1,400 folks showed up, and it was music, entertainment. Publix donated fresh foods and vegetables, and it was a major, major success. And just to see all that participation and the parents coming out and receiving information about health and wellness, about tutoring programs and mental health programs there for their youth that might have some type of behavior issues or just need mentors. And I'd like to thank them. Also, I failed to mention CFO Byron Brooks. Thank you, if you're in here, for his participation. The Omegas, they came out on August 1st with that back to school violence awareness walk, and it was about 15 of them, and they really made a difference. They were in the rain carrying foods and different things for the constituents, and thank you for showing up, and your fraternity for showing up and helping the community there in the Ivy Lane corridor. On the 15th, I'll be celebrating my 50th birthday, and I'll be passing out book packs. That's what I'm doing for my 50th, with Steps in the Right Direction, Sanctuary of Praise, and a Care for the Community. They'll be having at least 1,000 book packs filled with supplies, and 500 new Adidas tennis shoes will be given to needy kids there in that District 5 Pine Hills corridor at the Emory Hamilton Field. We're anticipating about 4,000 residents from all around to come, so I'm really excited about that. And the reason it's called for Steps in the Right Direction is because, and I can recall, kids that parents just have barely enough to keep the lights on and food on the table. You know, it's something when a kid go back to school with a new pair of shoes. You know, their self-image and esteem is affected if they don't. So hopefully with those pair of shoes will help them, and those book packs will help give them the foundation for a successful year. I would like to also say, Commissioner Stewart, I was one of the women that went to boot camp at the Naval Center. It was the only facility in the nation that women could go to boot camp, and I was part of K018. So that is a great monument in 1986. I'd like to introduce, I do have a new aide, executive aide, that's well qualified. I'm happy that he's on board to assist me with District 5 businesses and the residents and the city here of Orlando to continue to build that district. Justin Felton, he is coming from a long-term stint. What can you stand? Justin has implemented major programs through his leadership in Pine Hills at the Urban League, where he spearheaded most things. And I'm certain that we will really be proud of the things that he's going to assist me with here in District 5. And that's it, except for one little thing, Mayor, and if Marcia is here, I do have a little concern when I heard that about the registration for the Orlando Speak Out. Most of my constituents there in that area don't have computer access to go online to register. And usually what I do is I have a volunteer canvassing team that go out and put out literature on the doors. If there is a way to amend that so that they can be included in the process there in the community, because I fear that they might not, because they're not going to be able to go on to pre-register. I don't know how that'll work.
Well, so we can do, I don't think you have to register online. You can pre-register in writing, so if you have people
Okay.
canvassing, they can bring registration forms
Okay,
for them to
okay.
fill out.
All right, that'll be great. I'll do that.
All right, Commissioner
you.
Ings?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say on item D6, Commissioner Stewart, the Lone Sailor Monument and Memorial, I would definitely be willing to assist in whatever that I can do to help with this particular project, because this is a great project. And I love the rendering. It speaks volumes for the city of Orlando and what you guys have done with that. So you can count me in as well.
Great.
On this past Friday, on Friday, July 31st, I was out at the Turkey Lake, Bill Frederick Park at Turkey Lake. The JV's Foundation, which is Jumping into Victory Foundation, was present with their end of the summer program, and they were actually celebrating the youth that were involved in their program. They had over 25 youth in the program. And this was the fight against human trafficking. And what they do is make sure that our kids are protected. The one thing that I said as I spoke before the group and some of the parents that were there, and there were visiting organizations from outside of Orlando that came to Turkey Lake Park for this event. And I said that, you know, we have to draw a line in the sand to protect our kids. And we do have to do that. And we do have to make a statement, because human trafficking is one of the leading cause of our kids getting on drugs, drinking, killing themselves, committing suicide, and also getting involved in prostitution because they're forced into that. And so Miss Denise Lewis, who is the founder of this program, is housed currently at the Frontline Outreach. And so she's been doing a remarkable job, and we want to thank her for her effort. Then also Saturday, August the 1st, at the Dr. James R. Smith Center, the Smith Center Wildcats and 49ers had their awards banquet. And the young players and the cheerleaders were all given their trophies. The families were there to see them get their rewards. And also the recent, the coach, Luther Blackshear, is a recent recovering stroke victim. And Luther had a stroke probably about a couple of months ago, but he's recovering very well. At one point, he could not speak nor walk, but he was able to walk into the Smith Center. So he was honored and presented with the Commissioner Samuel B. Ings Distinguished Service Award, and that was because of his outstanding contribution, support, and dedication and community leadership to the West Orlando Wildcats youth football program in District 6. Also, former NFL player Keith Council was the guest speaker for the event, and Keith Council is the brother to Kia Council, who used to work here with the City of Orlando Police Department, Chief Pigman. And Keith Council grew up in Orlando and played with the Minnesota Vikings. They looked good last night. I don't know how that's going to work out for the rest of the season, though, against Pittsburgh. But he played with the Minnesota Vikings and also the New York Giants. He currently teaches physical education at Lake Nona. And we also want to thank Coach Vladimir Shifree and Coach Greg Bird and all of the other coaches. And there were two moms that support the youth out there and the coaches, Miss Tia and Miss Andresia. We want to recognize you for your outstanding support as well. Also went to a ribbon cutting with the West Orange Chamber at 2603 South Hiawassee Road, and this was for Pignat's Palais, and that's a place for all of us adults that want to go out and do some painting. The place is open. They have wine and everything that you can bring, or you can buy and purchase there at the facility. You can also bring your food with you, and they have instructors that can help you go through and do your painting, so that was a great event. And I did get an opportunity to paint some oranges on the orange tree, you know, just little circles. So Commissioner Gray, you could have done it too, you know what I mean? Also, too, this past Wednesday through Saturday, I attended the NBC Leo Summer Conference, which is the National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials Summer Conference at the Westin there in Fort Lauderdale Beach, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And Mayor Dyer, I just want you to know that Mayor John Seiler of Fort Lauderdale,
Jack Seiler.
Jack Seiler, John Jack Seiler, like John Buddy Dyer. He was sporting his Orlando tie that you gave him, so he made sure I knew of that, and he was sporting it very proudly too. And then I also, at that particular conference, had an opportunity to meet Harriet Winslet, who played that role on Family Matters, along with Carl and Urkel, Miss Jo Marie Payton. And Miss Jo Marie Payton has an excellent program that she's working with young people. And I'd like to get her into the Orlando area to talk about doing some things with our young ladies as well. Mayor, I think that International Housekeeping proclamation was great. And what would be even greater is if that International Housekeeping organization had an award that they can give each year to an outstanding housekeeper, because they do play a very important role in making sure that the hospitality is felt and that people feel secure in their rooms and that kind of thing when they come and visit Orlando. And also, while at the NBC Leo Summer Conference on the 7th, which was Friday night, I received the Presidential Service Award for my contributions and dedication in support of the ideals of public community service. And this was presented to me by the NBC Leo National President, Mayor James Walls out of District Heights, Maryland, and also Mayor Johnny Ford of Tuskegee, Alabama was there along with his wife, retired U.S. federal judge Joyce Ford. Also on Saturday, the 8th, we had Unity Day here at the Dr. James R. Smith Center with District Field Worker Audrey Wilson of the Firstborn Church of the Living God, and this was the Sanford District, so they brought their whole group of churches together here in District 6. And this is the 3rd year in a row that they've done that, so they feel very comfortable with our facilities at Hankins Park and the Dr. James R. Smith Center. And also on Saturday, the seniors of L. Claudia Allen Center and Commissioner Mabel Butler, they held their annual Bid Whist tournament there at the L. Claudia Allen Center, so that was a great event. Then also Saturday night, Bethune-Cookman Booster Club held its annual Visionary Awards banquet at Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. So I was able to make that one for sure after we came back from Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. And some of the recipients that received this Visionary Awards was retired Chief Judge Belvin Perry Jr., former Orlando Police Chief Val Demmons, and community resource official and retired Orange County Health Department official Larry Williams. And then coming up on Saturday, August the 15th, is the District 6 Annual Crime Prevention Walk and Back to School Book Bag Giveaway. And the walk is actually, we're going to start staging about 8 a.m. at the Washington Shore Shopping Center located at 3599 Columbia Street. The walk will begin promptly at 9 a.m. and we will walk from the Washington Shore Shopping Center to the Frontline Outreach at 3000 C.R. Smith Street here in Orlando. And of course, commissioners, coming up is the Red Tie Golf Celebrity Extravaganza event. I want to promote it now at the Rosen Shingle Creek Golf Resort at 9939 Universal Boulevard. So we're looking for everybody to get involved. We need golfers, we need supporters. You too can be a part of this event. With the proceeds from this, we help deal with a lot of our youth and a lot of the programming that we do with them. And so it's a great, worthy event, and we look forward to some great things from that. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. District 1, Commissioner Gray.
One more to go. Here we go. Commissioner Hill, I wanted to say thank you for bringing up the performance by the kids of the community centers. It really was neat. The opportunity for the kids to perform on a stage in a world-class facility was great, and it was over 2 hours, and I can say the last group got just as many cheers and applause as the first group, so it was a great event. Thanks for bringing it up. On the agenda A2, I want to talk about GOA real quick. We all think about GOA from the tourist perspective, getting tourists in and out, and that's very key and very important, but I also want to give our folks credit for the role they play in our business community. It's key, especially in my district with Medical City, that we get people in and out of Medical City. I've got a lot of donors, a lot of philanthropic organizations that need to come and see where their money's going. And it's key to get folks in and out. And also from a perspective of attracting businesses to Central Florida as we continue to grow the business community, we've got to have an airport that gets people in and out. And so, gentlemen, thanks for your leadership to you and to your teams, because the business perspective is growing and as important as the tourist section in my view. So thank you for that. On C1, the Tyson's Corner annexation, I want to give my support to that. The sponsors of that have been very patient while we've worked on coming up with a joint planning agreement, which leads me to item C6, which is the Municipal Planning Board. Credit to Michelle Beeman and Elizabeth Dang and Dean Grant and the crew for taking the time to work with our neighbors in the county to balance the need for growth along Narcousie Road with landowners who have desire to develop their property, but also to do our best to not disrupt the lifestyle that the county residents have. And I think our folks have done a good job of balancing that, and I submit the MPB's recommendation to go to ordinance with that. That was well done. Finally, I'm going to confess a conflict on item number 17. I mentioned that this morning, and Mayor, I've given the clerk my conflict sheet. I have done some business with the sponsor of that. It's a fine line, but an abundance of caution. I'll just declare a conflict and not vote on item 17 of the Municipal Planning Board minutes. So with that, Mayor, I will recommend or make a
Second.
motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Acknowledging that we deferred item B2, that if you have a printed agenda, may be on there for this morning at the agenda review meeting. All right, motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Ortiz. All in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries, so the consent agenda is passed.
Yes, sir.
Just confess. You know what? Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
Cleans us all, baby.
Okay, we have a few more items to go here. The next on the agenda is hearings, and we have one hearing today on the proposed approval of the Fourth Amendment to the Third Amended and Restated Development Order for the Millennia Development of Regional Impact. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Stewart. We have a motion to approve and a second. Does anyone from the public want to testify on this matter? Close the public hearing. Is there discussion among commissioners? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. All right, we have no ordinances on second read, but we do have a couple of ordinances on first read. Number one, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 2015-9, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, annexing to the corporate limits of the city certain land generally located north of Columbia Street, east of South Ivy Lane, and south and west of Elston Lane, and comprised of .84 acres of land, more or less, amending the city's adopted growth management plan to designate the property as mixed-use corridor medium intensity on the city's official future land use maps, and designating the property as the medium-intensity mixed-use corridor district on the city's official zoning maps, providing for amendment of the city's official future land use and zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ing, second by Commissioner Sheehan. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number two, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 2015-41, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, rezoning certain land generally located between Millennia Lakes Boulevard and Shingle Creek and south of Millennia Boulevard, addressed as 5403 Millennia Lakes Boulevard, and comprised of approximately 4.04 acres of land from the O2 Medium Intensity Office and Residential District to the AC2 Urban Activity Center District, providing for amendment of the city's official zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of Scrivener's errors, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Ings. Is there anyone from the public that would like to testify on this matter? Discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And so the motion carries, and that concludes the official business of the Orlando City Council for today. Thank you for